listen carefully. There comes a moment in every man's life, a moment so quiet, so invisible, so deeply personal, that nobody around him notices. But everything changes, not outside, inside. And maybe that moment is happening to you right now. Tell me, how many years did you spend trying to be accepted, trying to fit in, trying to be understood, trying to make people proud, trying to make people stay, trying to make people see your value? Be honest. How much energy did you waste explaining yourself to people who already decided not to understand you? How many nights did you replay conversations inside your mind? How many times did you shrink your dreams so others would feel comfortable? How many times did you lower your standards, silence your voice, hide your ambition, just to avoid being judged? Pause. Think. Because this is where men lose themselves. Not in failure, not in pain, not in rejection, but in approval. The need to be liked, the need to be validated, the need to be noticed, the need to be chosen. And here is the cold reality. The moment you depend on approval, you become controllable. The moment you fear judgment, you become weak. The moment you need applause, you stop being dangerous. Dangerous men do not perform. Dangerous men do not beg. Dangerous men do not explain. They build in silence. Tell me, why do you care so much about opinions from people who never built anything? Why do you fear criticism from people who quit on themselves? Why do you seek validation from people who cannot even control their own mind? Think, because the truth may hurt. Some people will clap for you only while you stay small, only while you stay available, only while you stay harmless, only while you stay easy to control. But the moment you become focused, disciplined, silent, dangerous, everything changes. The support disappears. The calls become fewer. The invitations stop. The room feels colder. And suddenly, you feel alone. But listen carefully. That is not loneliness. That is separation. Life is separating the distracted from the disciplined, the weak from the dangerous, the followers from the builders. And if you feel alone, good, because lions do not move in crowds. They move with purpose, with patience, with silence, and with hunger. Tell me, when was the last time you sat alone and asked yourself, who am I? Without their approval, without their praise, without their attention, without their permission, who am I? When nobody is watching, that question changes men, because identity is built in silence, not in crowds, not in comments, not in followers, not in applause, in silence, in sacrifice, in discipline, in pain. And the man who finally understands this becomes impossible to manipulate, impossible to distract, impossible to control, because he no longer needs to be accepted. He only needs to become. And the day you stop asking, do they believe in me? And start asking, do I believe in myself? Everything changes. Everything. And then, one day, something inside you breaks. Not your spirit, not your purpose, not your fire. No, something far more important breaks. Your need for approval, your addiction to attention, your attachment to people who never understood your vision. And in that moment, a new man begins. Quietly. No announcement, no social media post, no explanation, no warning, just silence. And if you are listening and you feel this, good, because this is monk mode. This is where weak men disappear and dangerous men are born. Tell me, what happens when a man stops chasing attention, what happens when he stops explaining, when he stops proving, when he stops reacting, when he stops begging to be chosen? He becomes unpredictable. And unpredictable men are powerful because society can control emotional men, distracted men, needy men, weak men, but society cannot control a man who needs nothing, a man who wakes up with purpose, a man who trains when nobody is watching, who reads when others scroll, who builds while others complain, who saves while others flex, who grows while others gossip. That man becomes dangerous, and maybe that man is becoming you. But understand, transformation has a price. You will lose people. You will lose comfort. You will lose habits. You will lose distractions. You will lose versions of yourself that no longer belong in your future. And yes, sometimes you will lose people you thought would stay forever, and it will hurt. Good, let it hurt, because pain is proof that something old is dying and something powerful is being born. Listen carefully. There comes a season when a man must disappear, not because he is weak, but because he is rebuilding. He stops posting. He stops talking. He stops attending. He stops explaining. He stops chasing. And while the world asks, where did he go? He is becoming, in silence, in discipline, in darkness, in focus, in pain, in repetition, day after day, night after night. No applause, no audience, no recognition, only work, only sacrifice, only purpose, only mission. And one day, without warning, he returns, different, calm, focused, sharp, cold, powerful, not louder, stronger, not emotional, controlled, not seeking attention, commanding respect, without words, because real power does not scream, real power does not explain, real power enters the room and changes the energy. People notice, the same people who ignored you, the same people who laughed, the same people who doubted. Now, they watch, in silence, because results create a language that excuses will never understand. And now, let me ask you, are you ready to become the man they can no longer control? The man who needs no approval, no validation, no permission, no audience, no rescue. Because remember this, nobody is coming. No shortcuts, no excuses, no second chances, only choices, only discipline, only action, only identity, only truth. And truth creates destiny. So, tonight, when the world sleeps and excuses begin, ask yourself, will I remain the man who needs approval? Or will I become the man who builds in silence? Choose carefully, because the world will always remember the man who disappeared and came back unstoppable.